Hello everyone, welcome to another video. We're back taking a look at the FIA Manufacturers Championship. This is round 9 at Yamagiwa plus Miyabi, quite a long track. Some of the details on the screen: we have fuel consumption at ×3 and tyre wear at ×9, Group 3 cars, and we have the full range of racing tyres from soft to hard. As we take a look at the race details and scroll down to the tyre requirement, and what is a first for the season, all 3 compounds of tyre must be run in the race, so that is going to make strategy very open and difficult. So the first thing I'm going to take a look at here is doing a 5-lap tyre test on each of the compounds, just to see how they hold up. Check out the tyre degradation on them and see where the sort of overlap comes, where the medium tyre can start to match the soft tyre and where the hard tyre can start to match the medium tyre. So we are on the soft tyre here, come to the end of lap 5. You can see from the tyre wear indicator that the tyre wear is pretty severe and lap times have dropped off pretty quickly, from a 2:17 on lap 2 to a 2:19 on lap 4, and I think this last lap here is well into the 20s. The tyres actually drop off even on your second lap, so your split times on your first flying lap are actually slower than your split times on the opening lap there. So 11 minutes 40 to complete the 5-lap test with the soft tyre. So taking a look at the racing mediums, as expected, a little bit slower than the softs. However, the tyres are still good to sort of set similar lap times up till lap 3 before they start to drop off on lap 4, and a little bit more on lap 5. Going back to the racing soft tyres though, as I said, the tyres actually start degrading even on the very first lap, meaning that your sectors are actually a little bit slower come your first flying lap, and this is going to be important for qualifying. To get the best sort of 1-lap performance, you're really going to have to just take it so easy on the outlap, to take absolutely no life out of the tyres whatsoever. Maybe just speed it up for the last few corners just to get some temperature in the tyres, but if you hammer the outlap, then you're going to compromise your flying lap. So I recommend taking it easy on the outlap to give yourself the best chance at a good qualifying lap. So come to the end of the medium tyre run here. As I said, the first 2 laps are both 18.4s, then a 19.3, and we're into the 20s. Just the same as the soft tyres were for lap 5, and the finishing time is 11:42.0. So a second and a half slower over the 5 laps compared to the soft tyres. So you can see the medium and the softs actually sort of equalise to just about the same sort of performance over 5 laps, even though the softs are significantly quicker at the beginning of the stint. So the footage here is the hard tyre. I've put up the lap times for each compound and the finishing time. Not unexpectedly, the hard tyre is the slowest of the 3, but easily the most consistent. You can see laps 2, 3 and 4 there, all within the same ballpark before they just start to drop off and lose a bit of second. But interestingly enough, lap 5 had all the compounds of tyres very similar in performance in terms of lap time. Now, quite an interesting test this one, because one of the fears that I had is that if you just ignored the tyre requirement rule and just did the whole race on soft tyres, in 3 stints you went 4, 5 and 5, would that be the quickest, well, would be the quickest way to do the race, but would it be enough to negate the 20-second penalty that you would pick up? And as you can see from the times here, because of the drop off in tyre performance and the fact that the medium and the hards come back to the softs over 5 laps, then it simply wouldn't be worth taking the risk of just doing the whole race in softs and picking up the 20-second penalty. It will not be quicker, it will not be beneficial. So moving on to what I believe is the best strategy for this race, although it could be controversial, and there is a little bit of dubiety as to whether what you do on the first stint will be allowed. Just to mention, the car we're driving here is the Corvette C7. It's definitely not the fastest car around this track, but I like to pick cars that I've not really got a lot of experience in when I do these tests, just so get to drive different cars. Now the area there's a little bit of dubiety. As you can see, the tyres that we're running here on the car, we've got racing mediums on the front and racing hards on the rear. Now I believe this should be enough to fulfill the tyre requirement for both these compounds. But other people, certainly some of the live streams have been in of testing and on the GT Planet forums, there's certainly a little bit of doubt whether it will fulfill the requirement. My belief is it will, and if it does, then it is easily the best way to complete this race is to get both these tyre compounds done and dusted and out of the way on your first stint. In this run I've done 4 laps on these tyres. They're a little bit sketchy at the beginning, obviously. You've got a little bit less rear grip compared to the front, which can upset the balance of the car, but as the front tyres start to wear over the course of the first lap, the balance starts to come back. The Corvette is an FR car, so easier to do that with the tyres than it is with an MR car. I've done it on the Citroen as well. The Citroen can cope with it, but I'm not entirely sure cars like the Audi, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini would be able to cope with the hard tyres in the rear and the medium tyres in the front. They may have to go the opposite way and put the hards in the front and the mediums on the rear. So the strategy we're going to do here, we're going to do 4 laps on this tyre setup, get the tyre requirement for both these tyre compounds out of the way, and after 4 laps we're going to move on to a set of soft tyres and we're going to do 2 stints of 5 laps on the softs. So we've just jumped forward here to lap 4. We're going to come into the pits and we can take a little look at how long the pit stops last. Now, I shall tell you right here now, stopping for just tyres is literally about 3-4 seconds. Very, very quick. Round the last corner, pit lane is just on the left hand side here. In we come and we're straight into the pit box. New set of soft tyres, no fuel required at this point, and we shall come on to fuel just a little bit later, and back out. So there you can see it, that in lap there, only 3 seconds longer than what our last flying lap was. So it's literally 3 to 4 seconds for a pit stop to change tyres. So just another element of strategy. It's because of running all the various tyres. There's going to be so many ways to do this race. Okay, so we're on soft tyres now. And here we come to the end of our first 5 lap stint on the soft tyres. You can see just how much wear we have on the tyres and the tyre wear indicator there. By lap 5 they are absolutely dead. There is no doubts about that. So let's move on to fuel. You can see there we are pretty low on fuel. There is, I don't think any car in the Group 3 class is going to be able to do this race without taking on fuel at some point. Any fuel you can save over the course of the race is going to be beneficial to your finishing time. And if you happen to be stuck behind someone, take that opportunity to save fuel. So another set of soft tyres there. We have got 1.1 laps left, 5 laps required, so we're going to take on 4 laps of fuel. Again, as I always recommend in these races, take on your fuel at your last stop. Therefore you're running the car as light as possible for as long as possible and not carrying unnecessary fuel about at any point. You can see the in-lap there, having taken fuel on considerably longer, 6.5 seconds longer than just changing tyres. So as I said, any fuel you can save over the course of the race before your pit stop is going to be very beneficial to your finishing time. So here we are again, coming to the end of our second 5 lap stint in the softs. You can see we've done a better job of looking after the tyres on this stint. It's probably helped by the fact we were carrying a little bit less fuel. But you're still losing about a second a lap on the tyres, just in pure degradation. And we're also very tight in fuel as it happens in this run. Around the last corner. Very nice track to drive, lots of different types of corners, fast corners, slow hairpins, fast chicanes, flat out sections. The track's got a little bit of track for everyone. As we come across the line there, our finishing time is 32:39.3. So that's my recommendation for the best strategy you can do. Run the racing mediums and the racing hards in your first stint, get them out of the way and run the rest of the lap race on soft tyres. Now on the screen there, we've got 5 different runs that I've done. Just tried different strategies. I tried the free stopper, running the racing mediums, racing hard just for 2 laps at the beginning, then doing 4 lap stints on the softs. That worked out just a few seconds slower. The next strategy down there, we just did 1 lap on the racing hards, 3 stints on the racing softs, and then a quick stop right on the last lap for racing mediums. Again, that was just a little bit slower than the previous run there. That's actually a 4-stop strategy, which is quite interesting, but it's quite competitive. You can stop that many times, but as we said, the pit stop loss is only 3 seconds just for tyres, and the benefit of fresh rubber is massive. The undercut is going to be huge in this race. But yeah, recommendation is to run at least in the first race, if you've got the chance to do more than 1 split, then I think you've got nothing to lose in the first split, to just give it a try and see if the game accepts running both the racing mediums and racing hards at the same time as fulfilling the tyre requirement. A few bullet points down there, I'll just go through them quickly. A little bit of fuel saving is required, just to try and minimise that pit stop when you do take fuel on. What I would recommend is try to finish the race on soft tyres. Just the benefit of the speed on them is you'll just be under much less pressure in the race, I think, if you can finish on the soft tyres. If you happen to be on the hard tyres or the medium tyres and you've got somebody closing down on you, it's going to put you under a lot of pressure, so I would recommend finishing the softs. Tyre deg very high, you must run all 3 compounds in the race, and nurse your tyres on the outlap and qualifying to try and minimise wear and have the best performance for your lap. So I hope there's some helpful hints and tips in here for people. Good luck in your races. I'm looking forward to this one a lot. Thanks very much for watching. I shall see you on the next one, which should be Mount Panorama. Bye now.